Hi, and welcome to the ICAAR podcast. Today I'm joined, as always, with Megan, our AE. I'm excited to have you. It's good to see you. And I am Phil O'Brien, ICAAR president. So, we just wanted to get into this and talk about some great stuff today. We have some member survey results. We have what NAR is predicting in the future market of 2025. We have a lot of updates on ICAAR scholarships and just upcoming events and fun stuff like that. So
let's get into it.
Okay, talking about member survey results. We sent this out. Thank you to all the staff that helped send it out. It's a great tool to kind of gauge where membership is and what they're thinking, what their likes, dislikes are, and what we can do better for them. So tell me a few of the results that you saw that came back on the likes that you really stood out for you.
Yeah. So as you said, this is a great metric every year to make sure that, one, we're answering the members' needs, that they're satisfied, and then taking all of your guys' ideas of what you want to see in your association for next year. So first and foremost, we like to make sure that we're on the ball of what we're currently offering you guys. So just some fun facts that we got from the survey when we said, what are your guys' favorite tools and resources that you're getting from the association? By far and large, they are MLS tools and resources that you guys responded to.
Yep.
And so the top three ones that we saw were, of course, Centralock, of course, Showing Time, and then trust funds we also offer. And that one's very popular.
I like that the favorites are like kind of technologically, focused, things that make our job easier, things that are convenience focused and really just kind of tie everything together to make our jobs as simple. Well, I shouldn't say simple because our job is never simple, but as effective and efficient as possible.
Yes.
So the Showing Time, and I remember, that came to the market a while ago where there was a little pushback at first. People were a little nervous about it, but once everyone kind of got familiar with it and saw the true benefits, it really just kind of took off and became a standard.
Yeah, I would say the same thing with trust funds. That's one of our more recent, we've had it for a couple years, but that is one of our more recent add-ons. So it's nice to see that high adoption these days.
And then obviously Centralock. I mean, that's we've been with Centralock for I don't know how. I mean, from the beginning, I think.
Yeah.
And it's they keep evolving, and I do like the new lock boxes. It's kind of geeky of me to say, but it's they're easier to access, very robust, and I haven't had any issues with them so far. So.
Yeah. And as a reminder, over the last couple of years, we've gained lockbox reciprocity with several of our surrounding local boards. So now that's easier for you guys as well to just get access, here at ICAAR, whatever your home base is, and that automatically gets you reciprocity to any of our surrounding boards that are using the lockbox.
Yeah, it's very helpful for a lot of agents that kind of go back and forth between Iowa City, Cedar Rapids. That was definitely a big win, and so glad to see it.
Yes.
Moving on to kind of like top association member benefits. What were the top three that you guys saw?
Yeah. By far, it was free education for members. We have a great real estate school at ICAAR, and so we're fortunate that we're able to offer classes in-house, and we're able to get creative with who we're bringing in and what topics we're bringing in. So we like to make sure that we're providing the education that you guys want to see. And you guys said, by far, yes, we love education with ICAAR, but specifically, we really love those free or low cost, like lunch and learns, brunch and learns, those like 1 hour, easily digestible content.
Well, those are great too, to pick up the extra C's that you need to, it's you have the law and ethics, it's just a long class and it's tough to kind of dedicate a day and a half to those. But, when you have the one-offs just over the lunch hour, you can rack up CE points pretty quick. So that's and then I see ICAAR MLS and MLS tools.
Can you believe that?
Yeah. I mean, as much as people are always seem to have issues with that, but I do think, with the training and the stuff that we sent out, that makes it a lot easier. And I know that we're going to see a lot more fun stuff coming from Paragon this year. So I look forward to seeing it, even more benefits to our members.
Absolutely.
And then lastly, ICAAR Forms.
Yes.
That's been a big one this year.
Forms has been a big topic. Yeah.
Yeah. There's especially, with all the settlement and everything, we've had to make some quick adjustments. And then I think now we're getting to the point now that's behind us. Those forms are now a little more locked in, but we have a great forms committee, a robust forms committee this year.
Yeah.
And I think that they'll do a great job dialing those in. So, yeah.
And if you haven't seen them yet, just kind of plugging and reminding of our most recent forms, there is a new listing agreement and a new purchase agreement in the forms libraries for ICAAR members. And coming pretty soon, I think we're going to be seeing some commercial listing agreements and commercial purchase agreements available as well.
That's great. No, that'll be a big, big help. Top 5 events. Okay, let's talk about that a little bit.
Yes.
This is always the fun stuff, and we do, I mean, throughout the year, there's always something going on. And I know that it's difficult for people to always kind of make it to like everything, but we obviously with these top 5, we see a big turnout.
Yeah. So what were the top 5?
We've got the holiday social. That was great this year. Well, last year, I should say. And then golf outing. That one, yeah, that was new this year, or it was a new location this year, and I think there were a couple people that said a few things about it, but overall, it was great. I mean, there's I know we're always dialing things in, but I like to kind of change up the venue, new course. So, YPN Bags Tournament. I did not go to this one.
You need to go to this one.
I know.
This is like my favorite one of the year.
I know. I don't. There's the competition. It's so steep.
It's too much.
It's a heavy weight to carry with all that. But yeah, that one's a really big turnout. This year I'll be there. So I'll just need to get a good partner. Heard Paul Park's a pretty good bags player.
You might be, yeah.
Okay. Well, I would just bring his game down. Toast to your new career. So talk a little bit about that.
So Toast to Your Career is an event that we host 2 to 3 times a year. Whenever we get enough new members join to kind of constitute the event. But it's essentially that. It is a free happy hour available to all of our members, all of our affiliates, but especially our new members. And it's just a time to come, grab a bite to eat, grab a drink, and get to know who are these new members joining the association. And for those new members, they're now getting some friendly faces of who works at the association or who are the other realtors I'm going to see on the other side of the table. Sure. All that good stuff.
Yeah, those are always really casual, very relaxed, laid back, and it's nice to, it's because it's in this real estate world, you see the names come across on a purchase agreement or something, and you're like, well, who's this? Who's that? This is great to kind of put a name to a face and just help the deal go a little bit better.
Yeah.
Realtor Ring Day.
Yes.
Say that 3 times fast. That was a great turnout. Everyone seemed to have a good time doing that. It's great to get out in the community and see people donate for a good cause.
Yeah. What I like seeing here is that across these top 5 events, because of course we have many events throughout the year, but these are the top 5. I like that there's a good variety between things like the holiday social, where this is a networking event. This is an opportunity just to chat and get together with other members.
Yeah.
And then you have Realtor Ring Day, which is more of a let's give you an opportunity to volunteer, get out into the community.
Yeah.
And then of course Bags Tournament, which is combo, right? You're having fun with your friends, but you're also fundraising for an important cause in our community. So
well, and a lot of good things to volunteer for.
Yeah.
If you want to get involved. We have the committees for it. It's great to get involved and volunteer and see all your people and help an event come to life. So
there's a variety of events for whatever type you like to go to.
Yeah, you don't have to go to all of them. Just pick some, show up, have a good time.
That's right.
Pretty simple. What do we have next year, Megan?
Yeah, so some fun things we like to get out of the survey is just what are your guys' ideas? What do you want to see that's new or different for the upcoming year? And education is definitely a topic or an area that we do that in. We have many classes that we host year over year that are popular, but we always want to see what's top of mind for you guys. So asking about what topics you wanted to see, overwhelmingly, and I don't think it's a surprise, but AI technology, ChatGPT, how can realtors be using those tools in their everyday business?
AI? Not familiar with that.
Oh, you get ready. 2025, you're going to hear about it. And then, of course, the general social media, marketing strategies, digital marketing. How do I use Canva? How do I use these different software programs? That was very popular request as well.
No, the marketing is a key part of our job, right? Like that's where everyone's looking for new innovative ways to do that. And to have those kind of classes and have people like learn about it kind of puts them ahead of the curve. So, yeah.
So that's what we're kind of looking to bring to you guys. So get excited for new, fresh, different topics coming out.
That'll be very helpful. Thank you.
And then another question that we asked, this was a new question that we asked this year. And I'm really glad that we asked it. I think we got really valuable feedback. In fact, there's many questions that you can tell someone might skip a question or two. Sure. Everyone wanted to answer this question. And that was, what are the top 2 challenges you face in your day-to-day business?
Oh, I could see that. I mean, definitely probably some very honest feedback when it comes to the challenges they face.
Yeah. And it helps us just know, how are you guys doing out in the field? And how can we support you best in our role, the association? So a lot of members mentioned, of course, navigating the NAR settlement changes this year, helping the public understand those changes.
Absolutely.
So we're, of course, going to keep continuing the communication of anything regarding settlement changes or changes to our MLS.
And I'll definitely give you hats off to that because, that was a lot to work through. And there was a lot of changes at last minute and things would kind of like, were unsure or unsettled. And the staff, you guys did a great job of kind of keeping us posted and making sure that we always had the most up-to-date information. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And the dust has settled a little bit, but the information is all still out there. So if it felt like inundating or you kind of wanted to not deal with it, go back and check out our blog posts. Go back and check out our emails. The information is still there and it's still up to date and incredibly relevant.
Yeah. And I would definitely encourage all brokers, especially brokers, to even review the old stuff just to make sure that you're, that you have the right information, the correct information, because you should be filtering that out to your brokerages and making sure that everyone is on the same page.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And one thing though that I do want to bring up here that I saw was the kind of like, how people practice, ethics being top of mind, and how we as an organization can make sure that everyone's, acting on their best behavior. And if someone is not, or if they're straying from the path, like how we can bring that to ICAAR and bring that up to, like, hey, I think we saw this and not sure if it's a violation, but what do you think?
Yeah, so that's a great question. We are a self-governing association. So if you see something out there in the field, out there online, out there on the MLS that is not correct, we want you guys as members to help report it. And I know that can sometimes sound a little intimidating, but just as a reminder, anytime that there is an MLS rules and regulation violation, if you report that to ICAAR staff, so just send us an email, send us a phone call. There's even like a little report button on listings in Paragon. That's anonymous. So we just say like, thank you for reporting that. And then as staff, we handle it further, whether that's investigating that there's no violation or if there is a violation that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
But it's anonymous. So no one's going to know if you do need to report a violation that you see.
No, I think that's a good shift because we really do need to hold ourselves to a high standard. And you don't want to make that, you don't want to feel like you're, calling somebody out for something, but they may not even know they're doing it. And we all need to be aware of what the rules or regulations are. And sometimes it's hard to follow all of them. So we need to be aware if we're straying from any of those. So I think it's a really good job and kind of keeps us all in line.
Absolutely. And if it's not an MLS rule violation, if it's a code of ethics violation, we did, in the last few years, move our grievance pro standards process up to Iowa Realtors Estate Association. So there's a little bit of space and anonymity there as well.
Yeah.
If you do need to file a code of ethics violation, it's not just your backyard peers that are handling that case.
Absolutely. No, you're not going to be sitting in front of a panel of your peers. This is going to be something that's handled. And also that's great because it's unbiased. You're dealing with people that are at the state level, not the local level. It's just what is what went wrong. And they're looking at that. They're not, taking any other personal considerations into play there.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you ever have questions, just reach out to us. We would love to talk you through that, but follow through on that instead of just saying like, hey, that's wrong and turning a blind eye.
No, don't walk away from it. Make sure that we're all held to that standard and we will do, we'll do better for it. So like, I don't think people are out there with malice, trying to like find a way to cheat the system. It's mostly honest mistakes. And if you catch it sooner than later, then the chance of it repeating it's going to go away.
So yeah, that's kind of what we got high level out of our membership survey. What we do is we take all of our survey results and we chunk it out to any relevant like committee or the board of directors. So just again, thank you to everybody that did fill that out. No,
I personally want to thank everybody. Appreciate taking time. It's not, it does take a little bit of time to go through and we don't want you to be like just glossing over questions and hitting the highlights. We really want you to give your honest feedback so we can make this better for everybody. Segment 2, huh?
Segment 2.
It's kind of, so this is where, NAR is putting out its predictions for 2025. I've read through, it's actually a pretty long list and we're going to put this out for people to take a look at. I really wanted to focus on some of the highlights, starting with like the market rebound. After 2024 downturn, the housing market is expected to recover with more opportunities for buyers in 2025, driven by increased listing and sales. Some of the local stuff that I've noticed here out of this list is we have better inventory. I should say we have more inventory. I'm seeing that creep up more and more, which is great. It's going to help, buyers this year and give them the opportunity to make better selections and, probably get a better price on the house as well. I'm also seeing like the mortgage rates, it's still not coming down, but I definitely have seen it stabilize. And I think stability is going to be far more important to buyers in this market than where the rate actually is. Again, the rate you can always refinance later on. Don't let something temporary like the rate get in the way of something that can be permanent for you. So that's great. With that stabilization, I think that's going to encourage more buyers to get out there and write offers. And then also it says net migration, but I think that really plays into our market and has always been one of our strengths because we do have a very migrant population. We have the university, we have different industries here where we see people either relocating different parts of the country or with the university, residence is a big one. We see people come in for 4 years. They may stick around, they may not, but we always have that great turnover and that makes for a stronger market here. So with this in mind, I mean, I know there's a lot more here, but I'm just kind of curious what you thought of this list as well.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think it is an optimistic outlook that I appreciate seeing coming down the pike. But you're right. They've sent out, a list of 10 different things. I don't know if all 10 are relevant to our market, but those ones that you mentioned certainly are.
Yeah, no, optimism is the key word.
Yeah.
I think that we need to go into this year with a little bit of optimism and a little bit of idea that this is 2024 was tough. I mean, it was tough for a lot of agents and we came off of a very strong market. And in transition, we always are going to have a little bit of issues, people stumble a little bit, but this year, now that we have some clarity going forward with NAR and some future growth here, I think it'll be a good year for a lot of agents and I'm looking forward to it. So moving on, ICAAR Scholarships. This is a great program that we have here at ICAAR, and tell me a little bit about it.
I would love to. So every year, ICAAR Scholarship Foundation offers several scholarships to local graduating high school seniors in our area.
Sure.
We have 2 different types. So the first one is our general ICAAR High School Scholarship, and we give out 5 or 6 of those depending on how we, allocate the funds that year. But this is open to anyone who is a graduating senior within the ICAAR service area. So doesn't matter what you're going into. It doesn't matter if you're going to a college, a technical program, anything like that. But anyone who is a graduating senior can apply for the high school scholarship. And then we have specifically the Cheryl Carroll Nelson Scholarship. And that is a scholarship available to a graduating senior who is a child of an ICAAR member.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Yeah. So if you're watching and you've got a kid who's graduating, definitely have them apply to the Cheryl Carroll Nelson Scholarship, but anyone can apply to the general high school scholarship.
Well, and I'm looking at this here, like over $45,000 over the past 7 years. That's not a small number. So
no,
that's really great to be able to give that back. How do we pick, or how are these awarded? What are some criteria for that?
Yeah. So the nice thing about this scholarship is that it is based on your involvement in the community. So we see a lot of, academic-based, scholarship-based, or merit-based.
Sure.
And we do ask for that information. But really what our scholarship committee is looking at is that student's involvement in the community. Are they volunteering? Are they getting involved? Are they doing something to better their community?
Sure. So really encouraging people to get out there, especially in high school, to get out there and kind of give back. And it's a great way to kind of earn a great scholarship. So
yeah. So if you just go to the advocacy section of our website, it will have the application and it'll have the official open date, close date, but it'll be open until I want to say the beginning of April, but we can put in that date for sure.
So that's the call to action.
That's the call to action. Yeah. Go to icar.org under advocacy and you'll see all the information on the scholarship program.
Perfect. And anyone can apply.
Anyone, if you're a graduating senior.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That.
Anyone.
Anyone in that area.
Yes.
We've covered a lot, but let's talk about some of the upcoming events, upcoming dates that we should be aware of.
Yeah. So we're just getting the year started, but we've got a couple things already on the calendar. First and foremost would be we have the 11:05 free lunch program. So our first volunteer opportunity of the year. That's going to be at the end of the month on January 30th.
Okay. So that's great. We have looks like we have the weekly IAAR legislation updates coming out. They're starting Monday, January 13th. Anyone can
anyone who is a member. So these are Zoom webinars. So once you register once, you're automatically, scheduled to get the weekly link. But this is just Iowa Realtors' time to hop on every week and update you on the legislative session the bills that we are monitoring and kind of the status of those bills as the session goes on.
Yeah, I was on the committee last year, and I have to say it's really intriguing to see this. I saw it as a benefit to mostly my clients.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of stuff that involved like property rights and what's happening at the state level that's going to affect people locally here, and to be a little ahead of the curve and know that. So when I'm having these dialogues with my clients, I think there's a lot of useful information in these meetings. So they'll range anywhere from a half hour to an hour, depends on what's on the docket, but definitely worth tuning into.
Yeah, just easy way to stay up to date.
Mm-hmm. And then we got the Q1 broker meeting.
Yes.
Love these.
What date is that?
That's going to be February 26th at 9 a.m. at ICAAR.
Perfect.
So these are great chance for all the brokers to kind of get together, hear all at once the same stuff, because that keeps people on the same page. But those are always great to attend. And lately, we've been in and out about 45 minutes. It's been a really efficient use of time. So
yeah, and really appreciate all the brokers that come to those, just because it's helpful, right? Like we rely on you as brokers to help get the information to your agents, and it's just nice to have a quarterly touch point.
Yeah, and there's a little snack there too. There's some snacks and beverages. It's a nice way to start off the day. Once again, we've covered a lot today, and I think we were looking at some of the key points here of the survey results. What NAR is predicting in 2025, all good things. ICAAR Scholarships, that was great for high school students, and upcoming events and dates. The key things to be paying attention to, ways to get involved. But it's been a great conversation as always. And I want to say thank you for everybody for tuning in again. We're working through all the stuff. It's getting better. Every week we're getting a little better. And every month we're getting a little better. See what I just did there?
Yes.
Yeah. And I always appreciate your comments and feedback and being here. So thanks, Megan. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, watch it. Tell us what you think. Put something down in the comments, and we'll take that to note. So thanks.
See you next time. Thank you.
Bye. Can we do blooper reels?
Let's get into it.
Okay. All right, we're gonna have to chop that out a little bit, but okay. That was a great turnout.
That one you did do, yes.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Whoops.
Next year, Phil will do Realtor Ring Day as well. ICAAR Scholarships.
Okay. Moving on.